stay there.
You play to win the game.
My message for the fans, we're all frustrated with where we are right now.
Jets. There they are, Gunny Gunderson. How are we tonight, my friend? You're muted again.
Well, crazy enough, I'm feeling all kinds of positive.
You know what, Gunny? Let me just tell you something. You look good tonight. In the chat, doesn't Gunny look particularly good tonight?
I appreciate
Healthy.
that.
I'm not kidding. I noticed it before when you signed on. My first thought was, ooh, Gunny looks good. I don't know what it is. What'd you do?
I've been drinking. I switched from drinking coffee to drinking green tea and honey, and I've had an influx of vegetable intake over the last couple of weeks. I don't know where it's coming from, but I've been crushing broccoli and freaking green beans, and but I've been told this a couple of times now that like, man, your skin looks great. You look good. I'm like, I guess
look good.
A few vegetables
really
can change your life. Well, I appreciate that.
I mean it. Well, I'm glad. You know, Gunny, it's been a weird month. You know, I've been fighting sickness. I mean, honestly, like literally for a month. Like I've ebbed and flowed with how intense it is, but I've been fighting something because I keep going to work. I keep doing all the things I'm doing. So I just can't seem to get past it. But this past like weekend or like 3 days, I just sat around, did nothing. I mean, nothing. I just laid in bed, drank a bunch of orange juice, took vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, all this stuff. And this is the first week I feel good. And then you come on and I'm like, shit, I feel good. Gunny looks good. We might be Zach Wilson.
Zach looks good, right? Like,
what is going on in Jetsville, Gunny?
Twilight Zone.
So here we are, everybody. This is the Thursday thick of it. We missed last week. Like we're talking about, I was ill. I just couldn't do it. And then those next 3 days, I just sat around. So it was like I was coming out to that point. I'm like, I just can't keep going. So I appreciate everybody's patience. But we are back. We got to watch some actual football this past weekend. So I know most Jets fans are happy. There are those, and I understand it well, that are upset that we kind of blew the tank potentially with this meaningless December win. Now, Gunny, I am choosing. It's funny. Before the stream, everybody, we chit chat, right? So Jeremy Jets Chaos is here in the back. We'll bring him on a little bit later. Say hi to him. He'll be in the chat. But we chit chat before the stream, and Gunny just said, I said, how you doing? He said, I'm ready to get my heart broken again, man. Like I'm in. You know what I mean? I'm ready to get hurt again. Oh, it's so good. Where'd you get? Well, whose shirt is that? Is that you? You're muted again. What's going on over there, Gunny? You look good. You don't sound good. Yeah, I heard you.
You know what? It's the new hotkeys. Battered Jets fan. He has a whole lineup of them, man. And I saw this on one of his shows. I reached out to him, and I was.
Who was it? Which one?
Go ahead. Battered the Jets fan.
I don't know him.
Battered Jets fan. He has his own channel as well. He's on Twitter. He's on YouTube. Right. Great channel. It's him. And a battered Finn's Jets fan too. They got a show together, and those guys put some good content. But yeah, I jumped on their channel. Right. Yeah, Battered Jets fan. It's worth a watch. But they've got a bunch of shirts like these, man. And I was like, hey, that's awesome. I was able to go ahead and get me one. So if you want one, check out his site. But yeah, I'm ready to be hurt again. The moment freaking Zach Wilson decided to go ahead and play football the way he played football, you start to think and you start to believe in. Then you realize, wow, the Dolphins lose to the freaking to the Titans, and you're like, oh, wait a minute now. We can still
win over here.
AFC East of it, and
yeah. So
I'm all in. Like I said before, you're feeling good. I'm feeling good. Zach's looking good. I'm all in.
Yeah. Well, it's a funny thing because I'm in too, Gunny. I decided I don't care. I've been rooting for tanks, on and off, but I'd say more than not since high school, man. And I graduated high school in 1991, everybody. So that's how long this shit has been going on. I'm tired of it. I just want to end a season playing good football. We had that monumental collapse last year, and you know how it felt. We know how it felt. The Garrett Wilsons, the Sauces, the Breeses of the world. dude, it wears on you, man. They got to believe. You have to have a reason to feel like, all right, we're close. Because the truth is, the New York Jets have their core. We have Quinnen Williams, right? We got Michael Carter II. We got DJ Reed. We have Sauce Gardner, Quincy Williams. CJ Mosley's still here, right? We have all these guys. The Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson. You flip it over to the offense. Now it's less, but we have some talent over there. You got Joe Tippmann. You got Garrett Wilson. You got Breece Hall. Like, guys, we just have to plug some things in. Granted, quarterback has been the issue, and the Jets' handling of it. Like, I don't think it's all just Zach. Like, I think he's a major problem. He way too inconsistent, plays scared, all those things we've talked about ad nauseum. But I also believe that the Jets kind of handle that incorrectly. Like, let the kid play. We finally saw it. Just let him play. And if he makes mistakes, he makes mistakes. This kind of boring, dull, don't make mistakes. Scared. Yeah, it's like, it doesn't work for him. It steals whatever juice he has, You let him run around, let him toss the rock, and you see it. I mean, who knows if he can do it again? This week he might throw 5 interceptions. We've seen that before too. So who knows? But once you kind of look at this team, it can feel like it's time to tear it down, but it's not. It's not. We're closer than we've been in a long time. Like, look at maybe the Adam Gase years, or even, during Todd Bowles before Gase. There was nothing here. Lorenzo Malden, Jordan Jenkins. Like, that's what we're talking. Jordan Jenkins, let me tell you something. Jordan Jenkins is behind Sherwood on this team. Like, that's where he is, and I like Jordan Jenkins. He was fine. He was a decent player, but his best was 8 sacks, and they were all coverage sacks. He's not scaring anybody. It's just like one of those things, man. We didn't have a defensive line. We didn't have an offense, no wide receivers, nothing. We had no elite players. We have elite players, Gunny. So the idea here is to get these elite players believing that they can do it here. Yes, we had a bad spell, but we can come back, we can fight, and it's worth something. I think that will pay more dividends than a draft pick. How do you feel about it?
I agree, and I'm with you, man. I've been on the boat of let's tank, let's start looking at bringing in some quality talent. Top 5 pick gives us a plethora of options that can really impact and help this team. And I'm 100%. I was there. I'm not going to pretend like I wasn't. And then you saw the New York Jets beat the Texans, and I didn't think we were going to win that game. I didn't think we were going to be able to go ahead and be able to go toe to toe with those guys.
I thought we were dead.
We beat them. I thought we were done. I thought it was going to be a beatdown. We crushed them. We dominated them. And then you see the Miami Dolphins, lose against the Tennessee Titans, which, again, one more win and those guys would have secured the AFC East. And they lose to the Tennessee freaking Titans. That, to me, started getting this spinning, right? I'm like, all right, okay, so they lost. Boom, boom. Then we went from a 1% chance to an 11% chance to win the AFC East. And for playoff chances, went from 11% to like 27%. So, of course, now my wheels are turning. And I'm like, wow, if the Jets beat the Dolphins this coming week, which after seeing them last week, and unfortunately for them, they're starting to get the injury bug hitting them. I mean, it sucks, but the Jets have been dealing with it since literally 4 snaps into the season, so it happens. This is NFL football. There's a chance right now that they're going to be going out there this week without their starting center, their starting right guard, without Tyreek Hill. Kane didn't practice for the last 2 days. Like, you start looking at this and you're like, man, a win against them puts us right back in that conversation of the AFC East potentially becoming ours. And Aaron Rodgers is looking really good. Really, really good in practice right now. It's like, if you look at the story, if you had to look at the script, right? Could it be written any better? Could y'all imagine coming from the depths of just devastation? The New York Jets were able to hold on just enough for Aaron Rodgers to do a miraculous comeback and lead the New York Jets into the playoffs, dare I say it, to a Super Bowl. Like, it sounds insane, but talk about an ending for the script writers.
That's right. I mean, look, just to be clear, everybody, we know the Jets have a 1.4% chance to make the playoff. We know, but here's the thing with 100%. Percentages. I want to make sure everybody knows this too. Percentages are an illusion. Okay. Like, when they say it's like, you have a 10% chance and then you do it. Like there's a 10% chance of rain, then it rains. Oh, I guess it was 100% chance of fucking rain. You know what I mean? So it's like those types of things. But here's the thing with these percentages in sports. We win one more game. Like we beat Miami. So Miami loses 2 straight. We win 2 straight. Maybe Buffalo loses. Tonight we got the Chargers and the Raiders, right? Isn't that the game tonight? One of them's going to lose. They're kind of,
Yep.
We're jumping around with those guys. So they fight, they lose. And now all of a sudden it goes from 1.4 to something like, I don't know, 22. Just like that. And then what's up? We beat the Commanders, and now it's 39. You know what I mean? And that's how this stuff goes. It's like percentages mean nothing to me. Honestly, unless we're talking about raises, you're getting an 8% raise. That's firm. I like that. When you're talking about percentage of the future being written, get out of here with that shit. It means nothing to me. You ever see like next gen stats? He only had a 2% chance to make it in the end zone. And what happened? He made it in the end zone. Then I guess he had 100% chance of making it in the friggin' end zone. Huh?
Facts.
You know what I mean? What are we talking about? You know what I mean? So it's crazy, man. So I'm in, guys. I know One Jets pod is liking it. Dom C's in the house. He's liking it. All these guys are upset, are ready for the upset. James Thompson. We have Chuck Lagana checking in, Jeremy. He says, the Jets are going to take Miami down like never seen before. It's going to be a hell of a game. Tua going to get sacked 7 times, and we're going to score 49 points. Chuck, I want to know how many of those are going to be offensive, because the defense is going to score. If we're sacking Tua 7 times, the defense is getting on the board.
100%. 49 points of the.
Dude, well, I'm sorry, Gunny. Yeah, but look, like just in the last game, as shitty as it was, we were going into the half 10-6 because the defense picked them off twice on 2 consecutive drives, 1 for a pick 6. So like this shit isn't unreal. We can play with Miami. We can hang. The problem was we had Tim Boyle and no life on the offense. Get Brees going, get Garrett going, get Zach going. And everything, then the defense gets amped. Now we're talking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I look at this game where originally, again, before Zach came back, and of course Zach balling out last week, and I thought we were going to go on a losing streak, and potentially maybe the Patriots game we might have a shot. I was hoping at least the Patriots game we'd finish strong and end the streak and go into the offseason thinking about next year. But I legitimately look at this matchup and I see how this defense seems to elevate their game when they're motivated, and I think last week motivated them. I think the thought process that if we get this W this week, Aaron Rodgers can be our quarterback as early as next week or the next game. I think that is one of the motivating factors that we're not taking into consideration, that this defense, I'm not saying they're going to be playing for freaking Zach Wilson specifically, but I believe this defense knows if they can go ahead and get this win, it puts Aaron Rodgers back on the board. And with Aaron Rodgers behind center, there's really no limit as to what we can accomplish. That level of motivation in itself on a young team like this can do wonders. So I expect this team to come out this week, man, and just smack the Miami Dolphins around. Especially if they don't have, I think, their key weapon, and I believe the NFL MVP in Tyreek Hill. If they don't have Tyreek Hill playing at 80% or better, I think that offense is very susceptible to fail. You kind of saw what happened with him last week, not being able to be in the game. It seems like Tua lost all confidence in where to go with the ball. This matchup this Sunday, ironically enough, I believe if the New York Jets beat the Miami Dolphins, it's a playoff game. I think whoever wins this game makes the playoffs. Whoever loses it will not make the playoffs, and that includes the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, see, I love it. Now, look, Miami, just so we're, I'll share it. Currently, Miami at 9-4 has a 97% chance to make the playoffs. Now, they're not factoring in how much Miami loves to lose in December. What, did they fucking forget about all that? Miami loves it. They love to lose in December. We got the kickoff here, the Baltimore Ravens versus the Rams. So that's the game on, everybody. We're going to hang out, chit-chat about that a little bit throughout the stream. But that's the thing. So they got a 97. What's that?
I'm watching Chargers versus Raiders. What are you watching?
Are you? What the hell's going on here? Am I watching an old game? Let me see. I'm just trusting this damn TV. I thought it was. That's what I thought before. I said Raiders, Chargers, and then I'm like, oh, the Rams. Maybe there's 2 games on. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, you know what it is, Gunny? Here's it. I know what's going on. You know what it is? I'm watching YouTube TV, and I forgot this is on Amazon Prime. That's what this is.
Okay.
I gotta go. I'm watching some old shit. I'm living in the past, man. What's going on? So, yeah, man. They got a 77% chance to win the division, 18% chance to, like, what is this 18% chance to win the bye? I know stats people believe that this stuff is real, but it's not, everybody. One thing happens and it's over, right?
It's perfectly said, GreenBean, because the Miami Dolphins also had a 97% chance to win the game when they went up 2 scores against the Titans last week.
And what happened?
What happened?
Yeah,
they lost. A 1 out of 797 games. That's the first time it's happened in 797 games that you were up by 2 scores with 3 minutes to go and you lost. So listen, though, like you said, the whole percentage thing it's cute. It's there for the data guys, and I get it. You enjoy your stats, but it's football.
Nerds.
It's still football at the end of the day. You got to put on the shoulder pads, throw on the helmet, and play ball, because the Dolphins shouldn't have lost that game. Like, by every metric, 97% something. They were already giving them the win during the commentary. Game is over. They won and they lost. So and we saw it with the Jets versus the Browns last year. Like, don't give me the statistics.
I was just thinking
because until the clock reads 0, you're still in the game.
Right. Well said. And now look, statistics are important, but I like statistics that are collected from the past. I don't like predictive statistics. I just don't think that they're real, man.
Yep.
Because anything they go, oh, well, we didn't account for that potential variable. You have to account for variables. You have to. So I don't know. I mean, granted, I'm not smart enough to really, really know about this shit, but I know I'm not an idiot, right? And I watch this stuff. Like, the stuff changes all the time. So don't get down. The people are saying, oh, we only got a 1% chance. Don't worry about it, man. Just beat Miami and let's see where it goes then. Sneakers to boots, our good buddy checking in. We already know the Jets will win out and won't make the playoffs because Uzoma is still hugging Max Crosby. Let Zach Wilson cook so JD can work his trade match. Look, this is where, even statistics aside, the truth is this is an uphill battle, right? Sneakers to boots. 100%. I mean, this is a long shot, man. This is one of those, miracle. We need a dream. We need a miracle.
Hey, look, it's 4th and 45. There's no more time on the clock. We launching it up.
1 second left. We're on our own 18. You know what I mean? But it happens, man. And like, the thing is that there are injuries. There are X factors. Like, let's say, for example, Tyreek Hill is out for a couple of weeks. I don't believe he's going to be. I just don't ever account for that stuff. But let's say he is. That offense goes right down to, like, they still got weapons and they're still good, but that, like, elite status gets removed from who they are. Their center is gone. Like, this stuff. Imagine this. So Miami's center goes out and everybody's talking about how they're in big trouble. Dude, we have 15 different offensive alignments or whatever it was. Nobody's giving us a goddamn pass. And every year we hear this shit. One guy goes out or we place and they go, oh, but our Von Miller wasn't playing. We had 12 injuries in that game. What are you talking about? So it's one of those things, man. It's like, you never know what can happen. If Tyreek Hill is out for 2 weeks and Miami loses 3 straight, and God forbid the Jets win 3 straight, and then we're heading into Cleveland, dude, it's going to be madness. Madness. And who knows what can happen to the division. We got the Chargers and Raiders. I know the Chargers are 5-8 as well, right? Or where are the Raiders?
Both of these teams are 5-8. Yeah, Raiders are 5-8, Chargers are 5-8.
Who do we need
and both of them are ahead of us.
They both beat us head to head.
Yep. So they're both ahead of us.
For
us, it's a win-win. Whoever loses is a win for the Jets.
All right, let's do this because Sneakers to Boots brought it up. And I want to see what everybody thinks. We talked about it on the Tuesday stream, the Talking Jets panel. We talked about it a little bit this weekend on the live stream with Jeremy and I. In the event, Gunny, I want to hear your take, and I want to see what the chat thinks as well. In the event, Zach Wilson throws, like, let's say he plays his best football, his best stretch over the last 4, right? So we got the 300-yarder, 2 touchdowns, and he comes out and he throws for, let's say 250 plus, multiple touchdowns, 2, 3, whatever it might be. By the way, he's never had a 3-touchdown game. So let's say 2 and 250 plus. He gets a 3-banger, he gets a 270, but we're winning and he's playing great. His best football, his best stretch.
Okay.
You trading Zach Wilson, or because then his value is going to be the highest it's been in a while. It shows like, hey, the kid might be coming around the corner and the Jets suck and the whole thing. Or are you saying, you know what? He is turning a corner and we got him under contract. Like, why would we bring somebody? Just keep him. You know, Aaron Rodgers and Zach are already close. The team loves him. Everybody. Dude, where do you go, Gunny? If Zach plays well, his best football on the way out, you trading or you keeping?
So I'm probably going to be in the minority, right? And only because I was so high on Zach Wilson. I really do believe in this kid's arm talent. I believe that he has, I kid you not, I think he has a top 5 arm in the league. It's just unfortunately mentally he struggles to put it all together.
Right.
If Zach Wilson continues to show this upward mobility, this upward trend of having put it together a little bit, I struggle with trading him. And the reason I say that is because I don't want to give this group an opportunity to have to draft another quarterback after Aaron Rodgers leaves. If we can legitimately get Zach Wilson to sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a year to watch and just absorb information so we can actually try to connect his physical ability with his mental, I think there's more value there. But if you're telling me we're going to get a 3rd or a 2nd rounder for a Zach Wilson, I'd rather gamble on that than the possibility that he puts it all together. So for me, it boils down to what the compensation looks like. I'm not trading Zach for anything less than the 4th. If he gives them away for a 5th, I think we lost on that one.
Yeah,
I think Zach Wilson behind Aaron Rodgers, with a chance to literally mentally process how the game should be played, we should see much better product on the field. Because again, the kid's mobility is top 10, top 15. I think his arm talent is top 10, top 5. Mentally, he's bottom 5 in the NFL. And if we can go ahead and get Aaron Rodgers to the Professor Rodgers to help this kid get rid of the noise and just focus on the game the way it should be looked at, I think we'd be very upset with what winds up happening if Zach Wilson goes somewhere else and is able to mentally get it all together.
But is it fool's gold, Gunny?
That's the thing.
Is Zach gonna do like he's done it so many times? How many times has Zach had his best game over the last 3 years, right? His best game as a pro. We're calling this one his best game as a pro. And he had his best game as a pro against the Chiefs.
Yep.
And then last year, he had Tampa Bay, best game as a pro. It's like, what? And then so look, if Zach crumbles and goes back into that deer in the headlights kind of thing, like Radovan's talking, this is important, I think. And thank you, Radovan. He says, have to throw on 1st and 2nd down to win this game. Yep. I mean, we saw that. Now, the first half, we saw a lot of run, pass, and we saw the results, right? We saw it. You can't give Zach 1 down, every series. And it was the first game since 2019, everybody, that the entire first half, every single drive on both sides of the ball ended in a punt. Can you believe that? But that's what's up with run, pass. So like Radovan's talking about, pass on 1st down, do some play action. They're stacking the box. They think you're going to try to run Breece Hall or Dalvin Cook or whoever. Play action and let Zach loosen up the defense and do the whole thing. Let's get him going. Yep. But if we do that, that's one thing. But Zach has never had really 2 consecutive really good games. He's had like a really good one and a one that's like, okay, you know what I mean? No interceptions. He plays like, the 180 yards, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing. But he doesn't have like 2 consecutive 300. I mean, he's only got 2 300-yard games in his career. He does have a 298, I think it is. So let's call it 3, right? 3 300-yard games in 3 years. We got no 3 touchdown games in 3 years. So if he can do that, it might be a signifier that he is turning the corner. And like you said, if somebody's throwing a fifth at us, I got to say, not worth it. But if he does crumble and like God kind of have a game where he's like lost, but we win the defense, and then he comes back and he plays well. Like if that shit, if it's just going to continue this Zach Wilson thing, I say just get rid of him and take what you can get. But if he plays well and somebody offers you a sweet deal, you take it. If not, then you keep your quarterback, you keep your backup. You know, it's crazy with this Zach Wilson guy.
What's frustrating is, like, even though we would keep him, I want to make sure I'm clear. Zach Wilson should not be QB2 on the team next year.
It's QB3, huh?
He's QB3 at best. If he is QB2 going into next year, Joe Douglas has already pissed me off this year. I've already taken my shots at him. I think at that particular point, it's just counting down the hours, because I don't think him actually playing, he's going to learn the game. I think a guy like him needs to literally just sit back and just, I mean, again, when he came in, week 1, we saw some things we were kind of impressed with it. I'm like, okay, cool, this is different. And that's with watching Aaron Rodgers in training camp, you know what I'm saying, for one off season. Zach Wilson, let's be honest, has done a complete 180 from what we saw last year. Yeah, he's still running back a little further than we want to, but like he's trying to eliminate those mistakes. I think he's played better this year than he did the year before last. And last year. And I credit that to Aaron Rodgers being there to kind of like be in his head. So if we can see him getting to watch a legend, a first ballot Hall of Famer for an entire year, I think again, I'm not saying he's the next freaking Rodgers, but I think when you have arm talent like he does and he can put it together mentally, you have a chance in every game you play with a defense like ours.
Hell yeah.
Zach Wilson could be average. If he was average right now, we'd probably be have 4 more wins.
Dude, we said it all off season, right? Or especially since Zach came in. Let's say since Zach came in. All we need is like 20, 22, right? That's all we need. 20 top 22 quarterback. We're going to win. And he couldn't do that. He did it for a minute, but he couldn't hold it up. And that's the problem with him. That's really is the problem, is inconsistency. But like you said, dude, if this guy can come out and just play average football, this defense, which would be invigorated if the offense could capitalize on a couple of their, three and outs or a turnover or a pick six, like whatever it is, if the offense could just come back and like kind of capitalize, the defense would be that much more amped. You know what I mean? Like they get beaten. And it's like, they just know it's more than just being on the field the whole game. It's like they're on the field for nothing. There's nothing. I mean, it doesn't matter what we do. This offense is going to score shit. So if we can do that, the defense is going to feast. But don't forget, guys, we have elite special teams on top of that. Like, that's the craziest thing. We have like one of, if not the best special teams unit we've seen here. I don't know, since maybe Rex, right? Best. Yeah. And then this defense is arguably the best defense we've ever had. And I'm a big sack exchange guy, and I loved Rex's D. This defense is no joke, and we still can't win. That's how bad the offense is. So if the offense could just get to that average-ish level, dude, nobody can beat us. That's really the truth.
I'm telling you, an average quarterback play, we're the 49ers of the AFC.
Yeah,
I believe that wholeheartedly.
It's true, man. Tom Cahill, our buddy, checking in. Thank you, Tom. He says, hey, Gunny and GreenBean, the much maligned offensive line coach Carter seems to have made some adjustments. The line is doing better. Well, here's the thing with that. Number one, I don't blame Keith Carter so much. I mean, dude, look at what's happened on our offensive line. Number one, like Gunny was alluding to before, and we talked about this even in the offseason, Joe Douglas took a real lackadaisical it really kind of depended on Dwayne Brown, an old and injured guy, Mekhi Becton, who's been injured for 2 straight years, AVT, who hasn't really finished the season yet. 2021, he played 16 games, but he was injured. He didn't finish every game, right? So he's not finished the season yet. And it's like, and then you add Connor McGovern, who we kind of got back for a little over $1 million, $1.6 million or whatever it was. And then you got a rookie, Joe Tippmann, and you got Laken Tomlinson, who sucked last year. And then it's like, well, what are we doing here? No fortification, no big name, nothing. So the fact that this is happening is not that surprising. It would have had to be best case scenario for this to work. But then you add to it. So all that happened. Joe Douglas didn't really give Keith Carter all that much to work with. But then you add really an extremely high number of injuries. Even Tippmann got hurt. AVT's out for the year. Then you bring in guys like Carter Warren and he twists his ankle. And then, Max Mitchell, Billy Turner comes in. He gets hurt. Everybody's hurt, man. The only guy who hasn't been, I'm afraid to even say it out loud. We all know who it is. I'm not even going to say it because I don't want him to get hurt, even though he's not all that great. He's having a better year than last year, but he's not exactly a stud, this year. But so you look at all that. Keith Carter's, what do you want him to do? What do we want him to do? So that's my question. But I think ultimately, is the offensive line playing better? I don't know. I don't know, man. They've been giving Zach, even all these alignments, they've been giving Zach and whoever enough time consistently enough. It's not every play, and there's definitely pressure. They're not great, but they've been giving our quarterbacks enough opportunity to do some things, and they haven't capitalized. You saw Zach Wilson this week in the face of pressure, just getting rid of it. One time he threw it away. One time he made a completion. I forget who it was to. Check down. The guy was rushing. And he threw it right over his head. There you go. Throw it into the pressure. Zach's finally doing that instead of taking off and running away from it. He's that's the difference. It's the quarterback. What's up? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Did something happen on my end? What were you doing?
No. I was hearing it earlier. The explosives keeps coming out, so I just put the screen on here to stop it.
Oh, on your end.
On my end. On my end.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, DKB's in the house. We've shut him down so many times. I don't know who he's talking about, though. Sorry. It was good to see you, buddy. It's good to see you. So it's interesting, man. Now, who are you rooting for in this Raiders? I'd like to see it all depends on their schedule, right? We gotta, it's look at this shit. Steve Larson. Look at this, Gunny. This is what's so funny about us.
What?
It's so funny.
Who said that?
It's a funny thing. Like, number one, I get called a Zach hater. Oh, big fumble. Did he lose it? It looks like he lost it. Maybe he did. Oh, it's Raiders ball. Look at that. Raiders ball. So here's the thing. I want to just tell you guys something. Jeremy's clapping. Look at him. He's so excited. Dude, Jeremy, they're not selling pizza. They're not giving away free burritos, dude. So, Jeremy, you want the Raiders? Jeremy's got the Raiders. Okay. So listen to this. The whole thing with Zach, number one, I didn't want him, right? So I wasn't a big draft Zach guy, but I was fine with it. I wasn't like anti either. But the whole thing is this. I respond to Zach. Whatever Zach gives me is how I feel, right? That's it.
Yep.
I've been rooting for him the entire time. I want him to be the best quarterback we've ever seen. That's the truth. He has fucking struggled, man. Now, when people say it's the line, it's this, I see that too. I have eyes and I'm objective. But I also watch the film, and when you look at the whole field, you can see it. There are so many times the line gives him 3 seconds, 3+. There's a guy or two wide open. Sometimes Zach is staring right at him, and he just doesn't let it go. So, like, if that's happening, I'm hard on him. When he's good, I'm happy. So I go, hey, man, give the kid a break. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of ambivalent. But the truth is, I don't have much faith in Zach Wilson. That's the truth. I don't really below Benzad like I try to do every week in the game. I try to below Benzad, but I can't. It's hard.
It's hard.
Man.
It's
very
hard. Difficult. I think Jets have a chance to win this game this week and go on a run. But I'll be the first to tell you, like, if Zach Wilson doesn't give us 50% of what he had against the Texans, we're going to lose this game. Like, at the end of the day, we have no idea what Zach we're going to see on Sunday. And that's what makes watching this team so painful and so erratic, right? Because on the one hand, we saw the offense do what they did last week, and we have no idea what they're going to do this coming week against the Miami Dolphins. Against a defense right now that's actually banged up. I think Xavier Howard is still hurt. They've lost freaking some pieces on the defensive line. Like, again, the team that right now we should be able to take advantage of some of these opportunities because they have to deal with some injuries right now that they haven't had to deal with all year like we've been dealing with. So it's going to be fresh to them. But again, it doesn't matter because if we don't know which version of Zach Wilson we're going to get this week, and that's just the hard truth of it. Zach Wilson gives me anxiety, gives most of us anxiety because we never know who's going to show up. And on top of that, we don't know if Nathaniel Hackett is going to have balls this week or he's not going to have balls this week. That also implies whether or not we're going to do well on offense. But I'm just gambling. I'm betting on the defense. I think the defense is going to go ahead and get us some points and make this a game for us. So
It's tough.
Nice to have consistent quarterback.
It would.
It?
Like, let's get this kid to give us 2 consecutive games that are good. And let's be real too. People are calling this the greatest game of his career. 2 touchdowns, guys. That's what he threw.
Yeah.
Like, this is our bar is so low that like this is regular shit, man. You know, this is like regular quarterback stuff.
And we're praising this kid.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, Jonathan, I see your super chat. I'm going to jump over to Niger real quick. Thank you for the $20 super chat, Niger. Niger Kajina, we appreciate it, man. What if Aaron was right that his intention was to play for the Jets and never sees the field as a Jet? Wait, if he's right, his intention. You know what they say about intentions, right, man? The road to hell and all that shit. All right. So he says, what if Aaron is the one to coach up Zach? Because we all know this coaching staff can't. Well, I honestly, I got to be straight with you. I think that the Zach Wilson progress has a lot to do with Aaron Rodgers. Like, really. Calabrese is still the quarterback coach. He's been here the entirety of Zach's tenure. He was under LaFleur, and he's never done it before. I mean, I'm sure he's learning and the whole thing. This is now his 3rd season. But what the hell is this? What is Calabrese? We don't even know what he is. We don't know how good he is or bad he is or whatever. And then you have Hackett, who, I mean, and Rodgers loves him, and we've heard good things. He did a good job with Blake Bortles, but that's about it. Yep. He damn near ruined Russell Wilson last year, right? We see Russell Wilson looks pretty damn good this year. Looks like Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? So we don't know, right? So I think it's the Aaron Rodgers impact. And not only because of his acumen, but Zach Wilson just loves and respects Aaron Rodgers as if he was, he's his hero. So the fact that he gets, imagine this, guys, whoever your hero is, from childhood, and then you get a job and that hero is your mentor, your boss. Imagine what that would feel like. How much more you'd be willing to put in to impress or to how much more you would listen and respect what they're saying to you. And you know what I mean? So Zach's got that. I think it's probably Rodgers too. I don't know though. And I want to hear your take, Gunny. I think Rodgers is going to play. I don't think he's playing this year, by the way. I mean, I'd love to believe it. I just don't think it. I just don't think it. But like you said, script writers and all that shit, who knows? He looks okay in practice. But I just don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. But I do think Rodgers is going to play next year, and I do think he's going to give us 2 years. I just do. I don't know what that is. I think Rodgers probably wants to play till he's 45 or what have you. We'll see how it goes. And then imagine getting Rodgers for 4 more years. That'd be wonderful, But we'll see. I do think we're going to see him at least 1, maybe 2 more years, and then we'll go from there. But him just kind of never playing and being our quarterback coach, I don't know. How do you feel about that, Gunny?
No, I mean, I understand like the play on words. That's a good catch, Nigel. I see what you're doing there. Yeah, but I don't think Aaron Rodgers is doing this much work to go ahead and get healthy to try to defy the medical science to go ahead and play if he has no intention of actually stepping foot on the field. I wholeheartedly believe he's going to play football for us next year. And I was amongst the individuals who also thought this year would be a stretch and kind of ridiculous, but in all actuality, because it's Aaron Rodgers and because of his dedication to wanting to be right and prove that medical science and science in general is just freaking, hearsay, I think he'll put himself in a bad situation if he's not 100%, and he'll step on the field this year if we're still in it. But I think he does play for us next year, and I'm with you, GreenBean. I think he's going to go ahead and play 2 years in uniform for the Jets. and it was supposed to start this year. And since it didn't, I think we get to add another year to it. So I think he's going to go ahead and finish out his career as a Jet. Now, him playing for the next 4 to 5, I think that's going to have a lot to do with just like how much of an Aaron Rodgers we get, right? Because again, let's not forget the last time we saw this man play a full season, which was last year. He I get it. There were some injuries, there were a lot of drop passes, all that good stuff. But this was once a man that we knew could elevate everyone and anything around him, and he struggled last year. So I'm still very curious to see what version of Aaron Rodgers is going to bless us. You know what I'm saying, as a Jets quarterback. And if we're getting, 80% of the Aaron Rodgers that won the MVP year before last, then 100%, let him play till his arm falls off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to play for us, like legitimately play quarterback for us. In actuality, it wouldn't surprise me if Zach Wilson moves on before before Aaron Rodgers retires, because he decides to play for a few more years.
Yeah, I like how you put it. Let him fucking play till his arm falls off. Let him play till he can't walk. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Put braces on him. Put wheels on his ass. I just don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever he wants, man. Like as long as you want to play, as long as he's relatively effective. He dragged the
competent
foot.
QB play. That was not
right.
a touchdown.
He didn't drag the foot. He never got it in. It's like he dragged it, but it never hit the field.
But they gave it to him.
Did they?
By the time he went to get full possession,
crazy.
boom.
That's
right
crazy.
There. Yeah, that shouldn't have been a TD.
Yeah,
but
that's
whatever.
right. All right. They gave it to him. Jonathan Francois, our good buddy. How you doing, Jonathan? I want to win, but the Zach Wilson propaganda will not. And look, that's a big reason why a lot of people just want to cut ties. And honestly, I'm in that camp. Like, if Zach comes out and blows our doors off of the last 5 games of the season, starting with the Texans, then I'm going to change my mind. Like I say all the time,
100%.
I reserve the right to change my mind based on new information. Okay. I don't give a shit. People say, but you said a year ago, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. It's a whole different thing. Or, you know what I like the best? When people say, when Zach does well, then I'm not allowed to root for him.
Right.
I'm like, where do we come up with this shit? Because I was hard on him when he sucked? I don't understand. I really don't, man. We gotta loosen up, man. Number one, this is sports, right? This isn't real life. So this is sports, and we are allowed to be passionate. We're allowed to be whatever we want. But come on, I'm not allowed to. You're gonna tell me what I can and can't do? It's another funny one. Like when you're like, hey, you start thinking about the Cleveland game, and people go, hey, man, just 1 week at a time. Like, what do you mean? I'm in fucking Virginia. I don't know. I can think about what I want to think about. I want to think about the Browns. Is that bad? Is that going to ruin the
game at the end of the year if I want to? You're not going to tell me.
Right. I'll think about next year. It's a funny thing. I get it. I understand. But for the team, yeah, man, they should not be thinking ahead, right? We know that. We've seen the results. They read their clippings. They start counting W's, victories. That's bad. But for us, we get to we're out here. Listen, I'm literally 6 hours away from that stadium. What am I gonna do? I can't think. I can't really leave me alone.
Let us live our best lives.
Right. Everybody leave me alone, man. We want to think about what we want to think about. Yeti Wilson checking in. Name me 3 better tight ends than Conklin. He's proven his worth, and no one is talking ish anymore. He's the most consistent asset. Love that guy. Discuss. Don't tell me what to do, Yeti. I don't have to do, right? You should say it nice. Say, please discuss. But I'm with you. Now, there are plenty of tight ends that I think are better. Let's take a look. Let's take a look here. I want to talk about the Dolphins. I want to look at our AFC schedules too. I want to take a minute and make sure that we look at that for a little bit. But for the time being, let's take a look at tight end rankings 2023. Okay, let's take a look here. It's all fantasy football. It's all fantasy football. Tight end stats. Let's do that. Tight end stats, fantasy. It's all fantasy. Fantasy football. Get out of here with this fantasy shit. NFL tight end receiving yards lead. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. So we got Travis Kelce. He's got 896 yards. He's also got 5 receiving touchdowns, right? We got TJ Hawkinson, Yeti. He's got 839 yards and 5 touchdowns. Kittle, right? He's doing his Kittle thing. He's got 811 and 6 TDs. Sam Laporta, a guy I loved coming out. I liked Hawkinson too, though, by the way. He's got 702 and 6 touchdowns. You got Evan Ingram. He's got 701 and 3 touchdowns. Trey McBride, we love Trey McBride, remember? David Njoku, Jake Ferguson, Kyle Pitts even has 549 and 2 touchdowns. He's got 44 receptions this year. He's coming to Mark Andrews, right? And then Tyler Conklin is neatly stuffed right in there. He's got 544 yards on 45 receptions. Oh, Cole Kmet's right above. I love Cole Kmet. 45 yards. 45 receptions. He's got, wait a minute. 46 receptions, and he has 0 touchdowns. So, Yeti, I get your point, and I agree. I happen to think Tyler, wow, what a catch. The Raiders are going to blow them out, dude. This is no joke. It's
going to be bad. It's going to be a
wow. We're in the first quarter still.
Yep.
It's going to be 21 zip. Wow, man. So I happen to think Tyler Conklin is a bit underrated. Right. And I think a lot of that has to do with our quarterback play, and with the way we set him up. Like a lot of his receptions are that traditional 3rd and 10 dump off for 3 yards. And the defense gives us that. They wait. You know what I mean? They're standing by the sticks. They let us dump it off to the check down, and he gets 7. Well, they tackle him. Why? Because it's hard to get 7 yards so when you throw it 3 yards. So I like Tyler Conklin too. I think it's great that he's going to be here next year, but the idea that he's a top 10, I don't know, he's not there yet. Maybe he's got the potential to be. I think there's an argument for that. But, again, you got Travis Kelce, Hawkinson, Kittle, Laporta, Evan Ingram, Trey McBride. You got the Mark Andrews of the world. He's hurt now, and he's still above Tyler Conklin. So, there's lots of guys. Dalton Schultz, and he's happens to be below yardage-wise, but he's got 5 touchdowns. Tyler Conklin has 0. And he dropped one, if you remember correctly. I think it was in the Chiefs game. I forget, but he dropped a touchdown. So, again, I like him, but, yeah, I think we got to be more realistic with who he is and what he can give us. But I liked the usage of the tight ends last week. I got to tell you, I think we're really thin on the wide receivers, Gunny. Like we got Garrett Wilson. You got Gibson for some stuff, right? But, Lazard's hard to trust anymore. Cobb's old. He got that touchdown, but he only got it because I think Garrett Wilson went to the sideline for a play or something.
Correct.
Yep. Right?
That was supposed to be a Garrett Wilson TD.
Yeah. So there you go. But, it's like Cobb and Lazard, they're not really giving us what we'd hoped. And Gibson is Gibson. I mean, he's got some skills, but he's, drafted free agent, little tiny guy, rookie. So you can't depend on him too much. But we got Garrett Wilson. So we happen to have some tight ends. We got Conklin, we got Ruckert. And dare I say, I saw Yeboah running around out there. Don't forget, Yeboah's got skills, everybody. He's been hurt. So I like the usage of the tight ends and the running backs. We got Brees, we got Garrett, we got tight ends. I think that's enough to get it done. What do you think?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that ideally you want to get a legitimate number 2 wide receiver, and there's not one on this roster. But the number 2 option is the tight end room. I think the tight end room provides you the opportunity to go ahead and get some yak. We've got a couple of guys that are in there that can go ahead and give you yak as a quarterback. So, yeah, no, we don't have the traditional, wide receiver 2 that, the Miami Dolphins have, the freaking Vikings have, and, the Bills. I get that. I understand that. But in terms of secondary options, we've got some pass-catching running backs and some pass-catching tight ends. I, for one, am a huge Conklin fan, and I know the stats don't go ahead and put him in that top 10, but I do believe he's a top 10 guy based off of purely. He is, I think, if not, we were doing this the other day, he's like top 2 in freaking, drop passes, right? He doesn't drop anything thrown his way. He has these top 5 in adjusted accuracy catches too, like catches that shouldn't be caught. He finds a way to make him a catch. He doesn't get enough opportunities, I think, to go ahead and stack up stats, but that's more fault, in my opinion, of our quarterback and our offensive coordinator. I think you feed him more, you'll start to see those numbers that what I'm saying you're just matching them up with. Those guys you all mentioned, they are literally an intricate part of the offense, and the
focal
quarterback
points
goes to them. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas he's not. I think that's poor utilization of what that guy can be. But he's top 5 in some really impressive stats when you look at it in terms of the breakdown. Unfortunately, he doesn't get used enough. But in all actuality, I love me Conklin. I think
I like him too.
I think absent of a legitimate wide receiver too, he's the other guy that if I'm a quarterback back there, I'm going to given the opportunity. But yeah, you're right. We've got enough. We've gotten enough for us to be respectable on offense. And when you have an elite defense like we've got, respectable is going to be good enough. We just haven't been able to do that consistently.
Right. I agree. And I look, I agree with that. I don't think Tyler Conklin's been utilized enough where I think his skill set warrants a lot more usage.
Exactly.
And again, look, there were a couple. I mean, look, when we watched the All-22, there was more than a couple plays where Tyler Conklin was one of those wide open guys, and Zach Zach couldn't see him, couldn't find him, or just chose not to throw. There was one wide open in the end zone. Zach looked right at him.
He looked at
him and just, I'm afraid.
He was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
I don't know what that is. Michael Torres, I want to tell you, I think Zach is going to leave. Just know this. If we want Zach, Zach is here.
He ain't going nowhere.
He's under contract. 100%. Remember that. We have to get rid of him in order for him to leave. He's not just leaving this year. So we got him if we want him. It's, we have the rights. So it's the 5th-year option. I don't think we're going to take his... we're not doing that, but Zach Wilson is, if the Jets want to keep Zach Wilson, he's going to be here next year.
He'll be a Jet.
Yeah. Dark Soldier says, GreenBean, as the conductor of the Zach Wilson truther train, you are not allowed on here. That's good. I don't want to be on the truther train, but I'll tell you what, if he does well, look, you did a super chat for it too. I'm sorry. I saw it, Dark Soldier. Thank you, buddy. But choo choo, he changed it. Woot woot to choo choo. That's better. But look, if Zach Wilson's playing well and we're winning, guess what GreenBean's going to do? I'm going to root for his ass, and I'm going to cheer for his ass, and I'm going to support him while he's winning. I mean, can anybody? I mean, the only difference between I think me and what we call a Zach Wilson truther is the fact that when he sucks, I acknowledge it. Truthers just don't. They just can't. I don't know what that is.
The truthers talk about the O-line. They talk about the offensive play calling. They talk about the weather. It's never Zach Wilson's fault.
Weather.
That is the big difference.
Yeah, it's a funny thing. And look, dude, like we're talking about the offensive line playing better. Dude, Zach had 4 sacks. He had tons of pressure. How about that one sack, Gunny, when he got hit from behind, like low, like on his knees?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to get hurt. That was alarming to me. He got crushed. So what are we talking about? It's like the offensive line was still breaking down on him. He played better. He handled it better, guys. Yep. It was different. Now, maybe because Hackett gave him the reins in the second half, said, fuck it, man. 10 straight passing plays, throwing it on first, that could be it. And we've been saying that. Even guys that are hard on Zach Wilson have been saying exactly that. Like, if you're going to win with him, you got to just let him go, man. He likes to run around. He's a little, he's not a pocket guy. Let him fucking run around. And they did that. So who knows? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's not the offensive line. It's not the drops. It's not the weather. Maybe it is they just have the handcuffs on him.
His playing style. Yeah. His playing style is you let he's a gunslinger. Let the guy go be a gunslinger. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
You knew with Brett Favre you were gonna go ahead and get a couple of interceptions a game, but he was gonna give you a chance to put points on the board because of what his arm could do. Last week they did that. They were just like, Zach Wilson, go play quarterback. I mean, like Zach said, what are they going to do? They're going to bench me again? I got nothing to lose. And he played like
and I love it.
I loved it. I loved it.
That might be the best thing Zach Wilson has ever said.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, like
100%.
I'm going to give it all. I'm going to throw it around. What's the worst that can happen? They're going to fucking bench me again? Like, what's the right, man? That's the mentality you're supposed to have. Not everything's so serious and so tight.
Yeah.
Go out there and do it. Just do it, man. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We're overthinking it, man. Tom Cahill, do we take Brock? You mean Brock Bowers, right? The he's labeled as a tight end, but you talk to guys like Dom C and some others, Tigo and everybody, they call him a weapon, right? He's not just a tight end. He's like this elite weapon. I don't know, man. I mean, Joe Douglas, if we're to believe Flight 23, they had him as like among their top guys. I think they had him right behind Will McDonald. That's what they were saying, Mayer. So they had a tight end in that. They were considering a tight end in the first round last year. So who knows, right? Who knows? Maybe they do. I think you got to go, especially if we're in that top, if we're like in the top half of the top 10 or something like, yeah, if a tackle, I mean, there's really 4 tackles that are, if the ones, you got to take one. You got to, I think, right, Gunny? I mean, do you take this kind of weaponized tight end over a tackle?
So I'm gonna start off really excited about it. I guess it's still early in the first round. Is MHJ. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is the one talent that I've looked at from doing this, the watching tape for the last couple of weeks. Again, I'm not as in depth as say like Dom has been doing it, but I look at this kid, I'm like, there's no way this kid is a miss. There's no way he misses. I don't see how it happens. Offensive tackle, we've seen in the last 5 years, every offensive tackle taken in the first round has not been impactful going into year 1 and year 2 in the NFL. There's like a new learning curve for offensive tackles now in the NFL, and on average, you're seeing these guys start to shine around year 3. With Aaron Rodgers in play, I don't think we have enough time to be playing around with – now, Joe Alt, I think because he's technically sound and he's a dog, I think if he's available and you take him, I'm not going to be mad. I don't like this whole Brock kid, man. I heard the same things about Evan Ingram. I heard the same things about freaking the dude in Atlanta. What's his freaking name?
Yeah,
I forgot his
Pitts.
name.
Pitts.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts. Oh my God, they're gonna change the position. They're elite. I want nothing to do with a weaponized tight end. I don't care what all the people that are excited about him. We've seen this already. I'm not sold. He's just a big wide receiver that happens to be slower than a big elite wide. He's just a bigger wide receiver that's not as fast as an elite wide receiver. So for me, I'm passing on the whole Brock thing in the first round. Like, you got me messed up if we're gonna be wasting a top 10 pick on another Kyle Pitts. I'm gonna pass on that. We've already seen that story. It hasn't shined through. For me, the only answer is MHJ. If he's available somehow, I don't think we're going to get him now because we've dropped again in the draft. But if that's not the case, Joe Alt just said he's coming back out. He's coming out for the draft this year. He's the only other option. Otherwise, you trade back and you go ahead and accumulate some picks to go ahead and really put some pieces around Aaron Rodgers that can help, and not just immediately, but in the future. That's for me. MHJ, Joe Alt, trade back. Those are my options. I know some people want a quarterback. I would still say trade back before quarterback. But yeah, I don't want Brock. I'm sorry. I'm not sold. We've seen the elite, cool tight end story too many times, and it hasn't worked out in the last several years.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. And look, I am a big fan. I've said it a million times. Even in that draft, does anybody remember who I liked in that draft? I talked about him constantly. It wasn't Kyle Pitts. I liked Kyle Pitts. Don't get me wrong. But my guy was Pat Freiermuth. That's my kind of tight end. Somebody that'll knock your friggin' head off on the, in line, can peel off, catch everything. Oh, and by the way, when he's got the ball in his hands, he hates going down. That's my kind of tight end. Now, Conklin has that. Conklin can block, Conklin can catch, and he loves to drag dudes around the field. Loves when defensive backs jump on top of him. He can carry you for 10 yards. I like those kinds of tight ends. I don't understand really when teams are shooting for like a receiving only tight end or a blocking only. The Jets have done that historically for years. Why do you think we have no tight? Conklin's the best tight end. Like, yeah, I don't know, maybe since Mickey Schuler. I mean, we had Johnny Mitchell for a minute. He was great. I liked Dustin Keller, but he couldn't block. I mean, Mickey Schuler could block and catch and run and everything. That was the 80s. So we don't have those kind of guys because we always shoot for either a pass catcher or a blocker. It's bullshit. You can get a tight end that can block and catch, and that's the guy you want because he can do so many things. You start bringing blocking tight ends out, they know you're running. That's what you now, the idea is that they're good, so it doesn't matter if they know. You just beat them up, right? I get that too, but I like guys that are just as good with the blocking, but when they peel off, they can catch the damn ball and be an outlet for the quarterback, and then they don't like to go down. They start dragging dudes all over the field. That's the way to do it.
The Gronkowskis of the world, the Travis Kelce's of the world, even Antonio Gates. Like, these are the individuals that you're going to get me excited about when it comes to tight end. Not these big freaks that can run really fast, but you never see it on game days because it just doesn't translate. I'm sorry. They're big as all hell and they can run fast straight, but they can't freaking run routes as crisp as a wide receiver who can also run fast. So at the end of the day, as cool as it looks in college, which we've seen, it looks really awesome when you're going up against lesser athletes. Everybody in the NFL runs fast, but a lot of them can go ahead. They're more athletic too. They can go ahead and keep up. So for me, no, I'm good. I'm with you. Give me a big body that's going to go ahead and go out there. Is he blocking for the run or is he going to catch the ball? Give me those guys. I'll take those guys who are more pristine and more well-rounded at tight end than the, man, he's big and fast and he's caught everything in college and that makes me excited. No, it doesn't. I'm not falling for that again.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, look, I would love to be able to add a guy like that, but not when we have no tackles that we're really confident in. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like, we've seen the offensive line. It's my opinion that they should take a tackle with the first pick and a guard with the third round pick. And then you can do or a wide receiver there and then a guard with the fourth round. Like, that's what I think we should be adding 3 offensive linemen in this draft and like 2 wide receivers and some safeties. Like, that's it. I don't give a shit about anything else. Offensive, 100%. Make sure you'd use all your resources that you can on the offensive line.
100%.
And wide receiver and free agency if you want, but the Michael Evans, the T. Higgins are going to be out there, it looks like. So go that route for the wide receiver. Then you can kind of use a fourth on a wide receiver, somebody to kind of slow roll it. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't want to see we're in desperate need of offensive linemen and we go tight end. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to see it. I just don't. So Jeremy says, people are asking about this hoodie. Is that accurate, Jeremy? Is that what they're saying? All right. Well, this hoodie, just so you guys know, let me move to this is the Talking Jets hoodie. You see, Talking Jets. It's got the 3 monkeys, that's Matt, that's Ryan, and that's yours truly right there on the back. I don't know if it has anything on it does. Look at that. It's the back of us. Gunny. See that? It's the back of us. So this, you can find this hoodie's great, man. Let me tell you something. I love it. It's soft as hell. I love it. But yeah, you can get it on talkingjets.com. Talkingjets.com. All kinds of great shirts over there, man. The Brees Hall shirts, Beast. What is it? I don't know, Beast, some shit. But we got our Brees mode. That's what it is. And but we also have Rogers Wilson 24. That's a great one. I love that one. Rogers Wilson. That's a goodie. Fruit of the Loom. Oh, what? The brand? Jesus Christmas. What's wrong with you guys? I got to do this for real? I don't know, Jeremy. What's that say? Does it say anything? I don't know, guys. Probably Gildan or something like that. I don't know. You want to know? You're like, hey, what kind of underwear are you wearing? What are your socks? That's what's going on. I really don't know. I tell you what, it's good. What, Gunny? Yeah, right.
Who made those? Who made those socks?
Who made your socks, man? It's funny. Let me tell you guys a couple secrets. So right before the stream, just so you guys are aware, I'm in my studio, right? So my studio is not in my house. My studio is like on the other side of my backyard. So I got a lot of land and stuff. So I got this nice big backyard, maybe a full acre, my backyard. And my studio's on the other side. So my dogs run around in there and it's pitch black and I'm walking across and I stepped in dog turds right before I got in here. So I walked in, I'm like, man. So I take my shoe. I don't have time to clean it because I'm starting the show. So I got one shoe on. But because I built this studio and the door's not perfect, there's a little tiny draft, Gunny. And it's freezing on the right, I never noticed it because I got shoes on. But it's like right on the floor. I got like my foot like on my lap, like I'm sitting like, my legs crossed, like trying to keep my foot warm. It's freezing. My foot, it's like it actually hurts. But I'm going to tell you guys something else. So I haven't gotten a haircut in like 3 months, right? I went and got a haircut today. Now, I have not found a good barber in Charlottesville. I did, but she moved, and so whatever. So now I don't have anybody. I had a really bad experience. Like the worst haircut I've ever gotten in my life was here in Charlottesville. The worst. It's all over Yelp. You can see it. The guy was like, it was just terrible. But so I go, everybody's saying to me, you got to go to the Asian guys. You got to go to the Asian guys. All right, so I finally say, all right, I'll go to the Asian guys. So I go to this place today, Gunny. First thing I say to the guy, I say, okay, number 2 around I have the simplest haircut in the world. Number 2 around the side, short scissor cut. Just let it sit down. I don't do anything with my hair. I don't put product in it. I don't style it. Just let it. I want it short enough that I don't got to do shit. That's it. He goes, okay. He takes his buzzer, puts on the number 2. Gunny, this is what he does. He goes right here. Right here. I go, whoa! Like the teeth of the buzzer. I'm like, get the fuck. What did we? He doesn't understand me. He's like, hey, I don't know how to speak Chinese or Japanese, whatever the hell. I just don't know what they are. But I don't speak any Asian languages. So he's like, oh, sorry. So, dude, that's how it starts. Now he's doing all the things he's doing.
Beard? Nah, hell no. Bro.
He goes right to it. What the fuck?
Out.
I said, no, man. What the fuck are you doing? You know what? Like, I'm literally pointing. I'm like, number 2, scissor. I'm doing the whole thing. Scissor. And he goes, and I'm telling, dude, if I was a second later, I would have had a whole, I would have had to shave it. Yeah. So then he does this, Gunny. Okay. Listen to this shit. This guy. Now, whenever you go to the barber, I'm sure you guys know, they trim your eyebrows, right? They do. They put the comb in there and they do a little trim. This fucking asshole shaved off my eyebrow, Gunny. Look at
what?
Dude, he cut my eyebrows off. Look, I mean, there's a little poof right there. He like,
that. Yeah.
I'm like, dude. I said, like, what the fuck are you doing? What is that? I pointed. I said, dude, what is that? The Asian guys.
Oh, yeah, I've never had an Asian barber before. So this is the first that I'm hearing about this quality.
It's bullshit.
Oh,
I have a sweeper on there, Stud City. Thank you. I do. It's just not. I actually I put some like weather stripping on there. It worked for a minute, but it's like there's like this one little gap that I gotta what I need to do is take the door. I need to get different doors. You know what I mean? I've done all I can do with it. But yeah, there's just a little hole. It's just, and it's freezing out. So it's like literally, I think it's 38 tonight. So it's cold. Is it cold down there? It ain't cold down in Houston.
It's 68 right now. I mean,
68.
it was 42 this morning, and I hated that. I hated that with a passion. But Houston got its mind right, and we're back in the 50s, 60s. So we're good.
Now I'm going to show you guys something. I want to show you guys. I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to show you guys what this one haircut looked like. Okay, I'm going to show you guys. All right, it's funny. When you go on Yelp and you go to this barbershop, the first thing you see is my head. I never write Yelp reviews. Never. I think I've written 2 in my life. And when I had to stop this haircut in the middle, I said, stop. And I got to go, man. I said, there's no way. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you said. I'm like, bullshit, man. Whatever you're doing to me is just, I can't believe you're doing what you're doing. So, and then he goes, here's 3 free cuts. I said, keep them, dude. I will never be back in, right? Here's 3 more. Come back 3 more times for this shit. So I'm going to show you guys this. When you go on Yelp and you type in Cavalier Barbershop in where is it? Present share screen. When you type in Cavalier Barbershop in Charlottesville, this is literally what you see, right? So here it is, Gunny. Let me get this off real quick. You see this? You see this head?
Oh.
All right, now watch. So this is with scissors, by the way. This is what he did. This is all my head, okay? So this is with scissors. He did this. What the fuck is that? Dude, and I felt it. Like, so he had me like turned around. You know, some barbers spin the chair. Some guys will walk around you while you stand in the mirror. This guy was a spinner. So he spins me around and he's cutting. And it felt like when your mom would cut your hair as a kid with like kitchen shears. It was like,
Oh my God.
and I'm like, what is it? I mean, only like 45 seconds did I let this go on. And I was like, what? I need to see. And I turned around and I said, what are you doing to me? So look at this head, dudes.
Nah,
Look at this.
man. Nah, no, hell no. This man said, "Here's 3 more hair." No, I don't want anything, bro. That
You can
is-
see there's just like random hairs all over the place, right? Look at this. This is the front. That's the front.
And I'm sorry, I gotta clear this up. Somebody recommended this place to you?
No, this is the place I just went to.
Oh,
The eyebrows is the place I was right. Look at my
Okay,
hair.
got
So
it,
this
got it,
guy's
got it.
cutting. It's like he cut me down to almost skin there, and then I got long hair. Like, what the fuck? What's going?
I don't even know how you do that. I'm trying to fathom like how you even do that. How do you mess up in such a fashion?
Yeah, let's see my review. Where's my review? I want to see my review. Anyway, I got fucking bad luck with here it is. So I said I left this place wondering if a joke was played on me today. I simply do not understand how this haircut could possibly have happened to me. I'm as simple can be, and Cavalier Barbershop fucked me up so bad that it's unfixable without buzzing my entire head. I had to shave my head. That's how bad it was. I don't even know how I'm going to go to work on Monday. Either keep the worst haircut I've ever gotten in 45 years or give myself a crew cut. Just unreal. P.S. My wife has been laughing at me all night out of disbelief. At least there's that.
Said,
and that's true.
Anyway, GreenBean's like, I got punked. I got punked, guys. I don't know how this happens.
Crazy, right, man? Anyway, so there's that. So I got my eyebrows shaved off, everybody. I don't know what the hell is going on. I mean, to me, it's like, really? Like, who comes in here and says, hey, you know what? Shave my eyebrows off.
Take a little piece of that off.
Yeah, shave off my eyebrows. Jeremy, I can't show any film on Brock Bear because I'm going to get a copyright. Thank you. By the way, I've watched a few. That's how I start with everybody. I watch highlights, right? That's what I start with. Then I try to watch full game tapes. And then I start, so I watch and then I look at some breakdowns and stuff on all these players. But then that's how I start to formulate my own opinions. But yeah, I would show it if there's somebody in the chat that asked Jeremy to send it to me. I can't, man. Remember, I just got monetization back. Like, I'm being cool. I'm almost nervous. I showed Yelp on here. Yelp's gonna be like, "Hey, that's our money." You know what I mean? So, yeah, I know. Sluggo says it'll grow back. It will grow back, and I know that. And I'm glad I can wear glasses. But you know what? Check this out, Sluggo. The reason that I got the haircut today is because I'm going to this meeting tomorrow with all these probation officers and everybody. Like, I have to do, that's not a presentation, but I have to like meet with people outside of my facility and kind of network. And there's a whole group of them. So I wanted to look tight. I'm going to tighten up my beard in the morning. And then I got no fucking eyebrows, man. So it's like, you know what I mean? I don't know what to do.
This is gonna be
It's a weird world, everybody. It's a weird world. So let's do this. I want to take a look at the Miami Dolphins schedule, Gunny. How do you feel? Let's take a look and see, which of our kind of, the people that are in front of us, the teams that are in front of us, let's see what kind of schedules they have. What is the realistic potential? These stats people, they're saying, well, it looks like a 1% chance, 1.5% chance for the Jets to make it into the playoffs. Oh, you want to see my hair, Sleepy Chode? It's all right. I was managing him. I'm like, wait, nope. Yeah, I was doing that. Yeah, hey, who? So, I mean, my hat's in my hat, but it's fine. This is like, this is good. I'll put water in it and it just like sits. I got that. It's not the best, but it's definitely okay. It's fine. That was Mitt Flair that asked for it. There you go, Mitt. That was for you. And Kareem says, I was the barber. The Barbie. You were, we've known you've been the Barbie the whole time, Kareem. Just so you know, we always knew you were a Barbie.
Have evidence of it.
Yeah. So, all right, let's take a look. We want to see like what's in front of these teams. So what's the realistic potential for us to, just for them to kind of lose. So Miami, as we know, they don't like to win in December. They have a hard time kind of keeping up with it, right? So we're going to do them first, Gunny. So here we go. Where are they? So here we go. So
They
we're
got
right
us
here. This is where we
Cowboys.
are.
Yeah.
So they follow that with the surging Cowboys.
Yep.
They could
and the Ravens.
realistically lose that. The Ravens.
They could lose that.
And then the Bills. The Bills are going to be trying to take the division at that point. So that's going to be a big one. So you got the Jets, Cowboys, Dolphins, and Ravens. Now, the Jets beat them, dude. And I'm going to tell you something. They're in trouble. They're in trouble.
100%.
All right. Now, let's take a look
Now,
at the Bills' schedule.
Yeah. Now, their schedule is significantly easier.
Is it?
Yeah.
Come on. What's going on over here? Here we go.
The Bills play the Cowboys, I believe it is this weekend. And that's the game we need them to lose. We need them to lose against the Cowboys.
All right. So the Bills have the surging Chargers. All right. So we got
Cowboys
so
first.
the Bills snuck it out against the Chiefs because
Against the Chiefs.
because the idiot can't stand behind the
Yeah,
line.
because
Dude, all he
Tony
had to
doesn't
do was be
understand.
6
Yeah.
inches. That was a beautiful play.
Just do your job as a wide receiver. Just to stay on the line of scrimmage. That's it. Just set
So
up right.
stupid. They're trying to blame everybody. It's just so funny to hear. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is showing his true colors.
Oh my God.
He
the
has
crying.
been, dude, he has been the most like spoiled player.
Yep.
The fact that he would say, that's amateur. I haven't seen a game be called changed by the refs since
Bruh.
high school. Like, what?
And
Dude, how
it
about
was
your
so
game against
blatant.
us? Just
Right?
that alone.
Exactly. The most we got a call that was non-existent. This was the most blatant offsides I think I've ever seen watching football. It was blatant. I don't understand how Tony doesn't realize he's offsides there. It makes zero sense. He called an offside. You got to be kidding me, man. Like, nah. Patrick Mahomes is the biggest crybaby back bitch I think we've seen.
And he wouldn't
since
shut
Tom
up
Brady.
about it for like an hour,
He-
for hours. Like,
Hours. He the next day he went on a podcast and talked about it again.
did Jermaine Johnson whine and bitch for the 24 hours about your
Getting
offensive
held.
lineman on 3rd and 22, literally holding? He was hitting his head. He's swatting him without a call, and that's how you got the first down. Did anybody? You know what I mean? You don't care about that. Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
Bullshit.
Patrick Mahomes definitely just highlight. Yeah, he's on that
whiner.
bitch shit. He's on that bitch shit.
He's a whiner. So, all right, the Bills got the Cowboys, the Chargers, the Pats, and the Dolphins. That's easier. So the
Yep,
Bills are
a
going
lot
to take
easier.
the division, everybody. So I want you to know that. That's what's going to happen.
Not necessarily, because the math and the numbers, the way that the statistics state, if they lose to the Cowboys, right, that puts them, I think, at what, like 7-6, 7-7. I forget. So they lose to the Cowboys.
The Bills are 7-6, I think, right
7
now.
and 6.
So they'd
Okay,
be
boom.
7-7 if they lost to the
So
Cowboys.
they lose to the freaking Cowboys. All they got to do is lose to one other team. The Dolphins are pissed off. They're getting out. They win. Bill Belichick's putting everything he's got out there, trying to get one more.
Trying to keep his job.
Win. The Jets would get the tiebreaker because we have a better AFC record than they do. So that's when the schedule comes into play for us if we have the same record.
But the thing is, Dolphins and the Bills can't, you know what I mean? Like, somebody's got to win that game.
But that's what I'm saying, though. If we beat the Dolphins now, right, they're not beating both the Cowboys and the Ravens. They're losing one of those games. So their best bet,
no doubt.
Yeah, their best bet is gonna be to play spoiler alert against the Bills, and I think they'll come running to try to do that, which is good for us. I don't know. I just think
because then the Dolphins have 10 wins, buddy. And they take the division. If they win one more game, they have 10.
Crap,
one more.
I didn't take that into consideration.
Yeah, you got it. Well, I just want the Dolphins to collapse.
Actually, yeah, I'd rather the Dolphins just collapse.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm okay with the Bills going. They're chokers anyway. They ain't gonna do shit. You know, I'd love to see the Dolphins get to 9 wins and collapse.
Didn't take that into consideration.
Yeah. All right. So let's look at who do we got? So let's look at the Raiders, because the Raiders are kicking some ass right now, right? So they're going to be, they're in our way. Come on. What is this? Here we go. Let's look at the rest of the Raiders schedule, everybody.
Is that another fumble?
Is it?
Another
no
fumble.
way,
Oh
man.
my gosh.
Turn my head for a second. Michael May. There he is. There's Joe Douglas's guy, everybody. 2 plays, 14 yards. Jeez Louise. All right, so here we go. Here's the rest of the Chargers schedule. Okay.
Wow.
So the Chargers are losing to the Raiders. It's going to be 28 in just a second here. So then they play the Chiefs. They can very easily lose to the Chiefs. And the Colts and Broncos are good
tough,
too. So, but we
too,
need the Broncos to go down too, Gunny.
We do. The Broncos are also current. Oh, no, but we have the tiebreaker with the Broncos.
We do have the tiebreaker with the Broncos. Right. Now the Colts too. The Colts are in our way.
Yeah, I think they're 6 and are they 5 and 8? What are they right now?
I don't know. Let me see.
6 and 7.
Why doesn't it say they're second in the AFC South? Hold on.
I'll get it for you.
Yeah, get it. Now look at the schedule here. Let's see. We got the Colts have the Steelers.
The Colts are 7 and 6 right now.
7 and 6. So we need them to lose to the Steelers and Falcons, beat the Raiders, lose to the Texans. That's what we need. The Colts to do. That's what we need. We need the Texans to lose a couple before then. Let's see what the Texans are doing.
They're 7 and 6 as well.
Right. Let's see what the Texans. So, all right, all right. This is
against them. So that helps.
This is okay. This is all right. We got some chances here, everybody.
Oh yeah, we got opportunities.
They're playing the surging Titans, the Browns defense without CJ Stroud.
That's gonna be rough. Titans again.
You got the Titans again. Oh wow.
They could lose 2 of those.
Yeah, no doubt.
They could lose 2 of those.
Look at Aiden O'Connell. I'm sick of it, dude. When people want to talk about Zach, look at Aiden O'Connell, man.
This kid making it look easy.
Making it look easy. Fucking Brock Purdy and Aiden O'Connell. I'm
the
sick
Chargers,
of it.
Mind you. Against the Chargers.
Right. And they're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. They have the 31st ranked pass defense in the NFL. We didn't even test it once.
We didn't even try. We're
trying to run against. What are we doing? So aggravating. The first thing you do, you go, all right, what's their weakness? It's their defensive backs. All right, we're going to attack that shit.
But instead we were like, let's run the ball.
Yeah. It's like you're sword fighting a guy with one arm. You're going to hit his sword all day? He's got a sword. You're going to hit that? No, you're going to fucking try to go where he's got no arm.
Yeah.
That's what you do, right, Modine? Jason Edwards, a member of the Stream Beaners for 9 months, man. Thank you, Jason. What a good dude Jason is to hang out with, too, man. We got to hang out with Jason. What a good guy. His son's awesome. He says, GreenBean, Gunny, what's the score Sunday? 24-13 Jets is his opinion. Thoughts? What do you think, Gunny? What do you predict the score will be?
I think 24-13 is being kind, right? I think this is going to be a much closer game and a lower scoring game because, again, looking at the Miami Dolphins being hampered right now offensively, I got us getting the win, squeaking in there 17-10. I got us squeaking in there 17-10. I think they're going to struggle quite a bit.
You know what I hope? I hope that it's one of those. I mean, look, I just want to win, right? But 100%. I hope that it's one of those games where very similar to what they did to us. Like it could be tight, it could be competitive, and then all of a sudden we steal their soul, and like the fourth quarter we start tacking points on the board. That's what I want. I want Mike White and Berrios to stand on the sideline and go, "Holy shit, our season's slipping away." That's what I want.
I like where your head's at.
That's what I want. I didn't like them sitting on the sideline laughing. I didn't like it.
They were smiling a little too damn hard. I was not a fan of that.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it, everybody. So, all right, let's see what else we got here. So, all right, well, look, there's the tech. Who else is in our way? Let me see the playoff picture real quick. AFC playoff. Okay, here we go. No, that's just the standings. I'm so sick of this. Hold on. Playoff picture, let's say. Here we go. All right. So the AFC is looking like this. What is this? All right, we got the Ravens up top, then the Dolphins at 9-4, right? Falling down. That's what it says. Rising up, falling down. The Chiefs 8-5, no change. And you got the Jagaloons over here. Look at that. Trevor Lawrence. Then you got the Browns, Steelers, and Colts. Look at the Colts, right? So on the bubble is the Texans, the Broncos, all got 7 wins. The Bengals, we need them to start losing. The Bills, look at all these 7-6. And then you got, here we are, buddy, 14th. No change. How do we have no change? You know what I'm saying?
Change? I mean,
no change.
So, okay, well, we're about to after one of these guys lose.
That's right.
We jumping up, whoever loses.
So the Panthers and Patriots are eliminated. They're out.
Yeah, they're the only 2 teams that have been eliminated from playoff contention.
We are down at the bottom, though. So the Raiders are about to be 6-8. The Chargers are about to be. I mean, look, who knows? It's a long game, right? But they're not. They don't look
like
they're going to be 5-9. We win one, that puts us at 6-8. We catapult up to here. The Bills.
Well, we'll already catapult whoever loses because of the pure fact that they got an extra loss.
Yeah. And like, even though we wouldn't necessarily pass these guys yet because we need 2 games to do it, like the Bengals lose and become 7-7 and we're 6-8. All this, like, you know what I mean? It's different.
Yeah, we're right
Everything's
there.
different.
Yeah, that adds up.
All right. Look at the Packers getting in the playoffs at 6-7. It's crazy, man. This is a crazy year. The Bucks at 6-7. The NFC, man.
Man, if only we were in the NFC, right? Soft ass division, man. My goodness. Soft ass conference.
It really is. It's funny.
You don't need a winning record to get in. Just do your best. You get
49ers,
into the playoffs.
Look at this. They already clinched it. They clinched the play. They're in.
Green Bay lost last on Monday or whatever it was. Gave them the
Packers.
clinch.
You rooting against the Packers or what?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Let me see what they got. Yeah, right. How's your wife doing?
She's not doing well. She's hanging in there. She's been struggling quite a bit. Like it's so I've gotten to the point now where like on the inside I'm jumping and laughing for joy, but I'm not expressing it, outwardly.
Oh, yeah, you're smart.
She's such a great woman. She takes the joy out of celebrating it, but on the inside, I'm jumping for joy. I'm doing backflips because, in my opinion, there's no way no franchise should be blessed with back-to-back freaking franchise quarterbacks. I'm sorry. I'm a Jets fan. I've never experienced a franchise quarterback. I refuse.
It's gross.
I refuse.
I know.
Franchise.
I need him to fail. I can't take it.
I need it too.
Dude, they got an easy ass schedule though, man. They got the Bucks or whatever. Panthers, Vikings, but then it's like Panthers and Bears in there and Bucks.
I think they could potentially still lose to the Bucks, potentially still lose to the Bears. Actually have looked good the last couple of games with Justin Fields back.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think everything sucks. We get no luck. If we didn't have bad luck, we'd have no luck at all.
Have no luck. That's facts.
It's crazy.
That is facts.
So I'm wondering why everybody hasn't hit the milk thumbs yet. That's what I'm wondering. Why haven't we given this stream our thumbs up yet? Huh? Come on, everybody. Selfish. I got 98 in there. We got still 175. We had like 240 in here before. Why can't we get past that hundo? Why can't we get to $150? Why can't everybody hit that button for us? If you are rooting for a Jets victory, if you below Benzad, go ahead and give me the milk thumbs. Hit that thumbs up button for us and show some love. All right? Show some love, everybody. Anybody hitting it? Let's see. Nope. Yeah, we got some. So 10 people hit it. Join the cool club, man. Hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. I want to also remind you that Gunny's YouTube channel and Twitter are in the description, as is Jets Chaos in the description. I still got Dom C in there. You can follow Dom C's new channel, Project Prospect with Dom C. And Finnegan is still in there, man. Finnegan's got the Twitter handle. Go ahead and follow him there. That's great. What does he say? So Football Fanatic says, damn, you guys against GreenBean? Well, I'll tell you why we're against Green Bay football fanatic. It's not personal. It's like we're just tired of a team like you who's had 2 consecutive Hall of Fame
Hall of Fame
quarterbacks.
quarterbacks.
It's
First ballot.
bullshit that you can find another solid franchise quarterback. It's bullshit. Sorry, we hate it.
Yeah,
We're
it's
not
it's
happy.
really not personal. I think
Yep.
I
Sour
think you're a
grapes.
great individual, but
Yeah.
we're salty. We're very, very salty because we're still looking for a franchise quarterback. We're
Right.
looking for a first ballot Hall of Famer. So y'all
Anybody
got
that we get that looks good gets crushed and hurt, and they're
crushed,
Chad.
injured, or they forget how to play football.
They forget. Sanchez was, he's kind of had a moment or two, but
Right.
Chad was the last real guy in my opinion.
Real guy, yeah. But the shoulder got
long ass
destroyed,
time ago.
and our hopes along with it. So, yeah. Nah, I'm gonna go with. I'm sorry. I again, not personal. We're all just very, very salty.
Agreed. Right, it's sour grapes, dude. It's like we're just miserable bastards. That's what it boils down to. I mean, dude, Gunny, just so you know, fanatic, Gunny's wife is a diehard Packers fan.
Diehard.
Gunny,
She is
most of
actually an
Gunny's
owner.
kids are Packers fans.
Literally, I have 4 kids. 3 of them are Packers fans.
Bullshit.
It's just me and my oldest kid. This is all I got. This is it. And
Right.
I apologize to her almost too many times on Sundays. I'm sorry, baby girl. I have no excuse for this. You deserve better. That's all I can keep telling her. And my other kids, very confident, lots of bravado, because they only know winning in their very young lives. So, yeah, nah, they need this. If anything, it's good character building for my children. If that's what I'm gonna go with. Sometimes you need to.
There you go.
experience
They
loss
need
and
They're
understand
a
how to
bunch of
process.
spoiled brats.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
You can't have that.
Bullshit.
In this day and age, you can't have that. So, if anything, right now, them being Packers fans is allowing them to learn some valuable life lessons. Hence why I'm rooting further for the demise of that position. So, I'm gonna take the high road here, and it's just me being a good father as to why.
See, that's
I'm
what it's
rooting
really all
against the
about.
Packers. It's all about
the
being
long-
a good dad.
Gunny's playing the long game, man. That's right. But really, what it is we're a bunch of miserable bastards, and we're not happy about it. Jason Edwards says no one talks about how we won 5 games with a backup quarterback. Look at who we beat with Zach. Jets will win the chip next year. I'm telling you, man. Look, I know that people have lots of reasons, and they're all part of it. But if this team had a quarterback that could just play average football, I'm
done.
telling you,
It'd be a wrap.
we'd have 8-9 wins, no doubt. This team is stacked. Our defense is stout. Our special teams are elite, and we have elite players on the offense. Now, not enough of them. Look at this shit. Oh my God, another touchdown, 35.
This is embarrassing.
We're still in the first half.
This is the first. Yeah, this is embarrassing. This game is already over.
Dude, they blew us out. And we were there.
Yeah.
Right, Jay? Jason was there.
Gosh.
Jason was there.
Did y'all even try? No, we're not going to try. We're not going to try.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude, honesty is the best policy. Look, I tell everybody, let me just restate. I don't watch football with love. I love one thing, one team. Everything else I root for is really a rooting against. I hate everybody else.
Equally.
Yeah. I mean, there are some teams I hate more, but there's there's an equal level of hatred. Like, I don't root like, I like to see this. Fuck that. I don't root like that. Now, I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm just saying I don't root that way. I am a sour
whatever demise is going to help my team best.
Exactly right.
That's what I root for.
All right. Right. If this team's pain helps my team to do something, that's what I don't care how much it hurts. I don't care.
100%.
And I have no sympathy for other teams' fans. None. Not the Brownies, not the Lions, not the Cardinals, not the Panthers. I don't care. Nobody's got it like us, man. Nobody.
We've been beaten, battered, defeated. Like the pure fact that there's a fan base that is this loyal to a team that's given them nothing but pain. Like psychiatrists will tell you, like, this is This is a sickness. Like something's wrong with us. Like what is it again when you get kidnapped and you believe your kidnapper is your friend? Whatever that syndrome is.
That's called
I'm having a Stockholm.
what?
The
Stockholm.
syndrome.
There it is.
Listen, that's who we are as a fan base. We have Stockholm syndrome. We've been kidnapped by the New York Jets, and we're now saying no. They love us. This is family now. We can't get away from them. Like we don't know anything else. But pain, misery, and suffering, and we're still riding with this team no matter what. Like it's
right. Think about this, Gunny. You know why we're here, right? Everybody, like, look, Modine, great line. I hope all the cheese in Wisconsin goes bad. Right? That's exactly that's where we are, buddy. You know what I mean? You might be a great dude, and the Green Bay fans seem real nice. Every Green Bay fan I've ever met has been delightful. Truly, as a human being.
100%.
I don't give a shit. I want them to suffer. That's what I want. But here's the thing. The truth is I'm tomorrow I'll be a 51-year-old man. Tomorrow's my birthday, Gunny.
Happy
so
birthday,
I'm 50. Thank you, buddy. 51 years. As a 51-year-old man, I am suffering because of the choice of a 10-year-old idiot. That's who made this choice. A 10-year-old, and I'm stuck here. Why am I stuck here? Why can't I just go, I want to change? Clearly, it's not working out. You know what I mean? It's like staying in a bad relationship. She's been cheating on you for 25 years. Yeah, maybe she'll turn it around. Maybe she'll change her mind.
Keep taking her back.
10-year-old. Gunny, how old were you when you became a Jets fan?
I was 13.
So a 13-year-old kid made a choice. And here you are as a man with wife and children. You got a military career behind you. You got what?
Bills, real life things.
Right?
And
here you are. You're stuck because the 13-year-old.
13-year-old made a choice. I've never looked at it that way before, but damn it, man.
It's the truest thing in the world. I've been a Jets fan for 40 years. Yeah, you know what that means? A fucking 10-year-old made a choice, and here I am. I'm stuck. It shows I'm kind of a moron. Let me bring Jeremy on and see what Jeremy, you ready? I saw you on the phone. I was going to bring you on a minute or two, but you ready? Okay. Jeremy, how old were you? Make sure you're not on mute. How old were you when you became a Jets fan?
Let's see. 11.
11. How old are you now, buddy?
53.
53. Oh,
42
years of this because an 11-year-old. Now, tell me why. You were in Brooklyn, so it makes sense, right? But Brooklyn's that's more Giant territory than it is. Like Queens is Jets. And I know Brooklyn, Queens, they're right there. But Brooklyn is more Giants than it is Jets. Why Jets? Talk to me.
I was a Mets fan before that. Like my first team in my life was the New York Mets. The Jets played at Shea Stadium. I remember I was in I think it was 5th grade, and I had a friend over the house, and we were watching that wild card game against the Bills the year before the Mud Bowl. And he was a Jet fan, and we were just rooting for the Jets. And then that was it. I was just hooked on them. I was hooked with them on heartbreak because they lost the game at the end. Interception, Richard Todd, through the interception, of course. And I was hooked on them. And that was just it. I thought that, wow, this is what being a football fan is. The next year was this amazing run all the way to the AFC Championship game. And I thought this is what it's going to be. And I love it. And New York Jets. And then all downhill from there.
You know what's funny? That you just brought that up. That is really good. That's interesting. Now, not only did a 10-year-old make my life this way, and look, I'm green everywhere. My clothes, like every fucking 10-year-old did this. All my clothes are Jets shit. I got Jets sneakers. Like, it's just ridiculous, right?
I got a Jets.
But here's the thing. It's not just a 10-year-old, right? So Aunt Gina, as you guys know, Aunt Gina, she, everybody's Giants fans in my family except for Aunt Gina. Now, Aunt Gina, I was her little cool kid. Like she would bring me around in her car and she'd listen to the Beatles and the Doors and shit. And she was like, she wanted me to like rock and roll. And so she brings me to what was the restaurant called the Ground Round years ago, right? They used to throw their claim to fame was you would eat peanuts and throw the shells on the floor. Why that was an attraction, but that's what they say. Throw your peanut shells on the floor. All right, that's what they did. Well, we go in there and it's the Mud Bowl. I'd seen a couple Jets games before, but I wasn't a fan. You know, I would watch football because my father, I wanted to be near my family, whatever. I was little. So she brings me to this restaurant and it's the Mud Bowl. Now we're watching the Jets win this game. They go to the Super Bowl. So I'm like, yeah, that's exciting. You know, they're winning. So I'm a kid and and I like it. But this game was gross. Now it was Angie and there wasn't a lot of people at the bar, maybe 10. But there was Aunt Gina and me. I was eating and she's drinking. And then there were these two Miami fans. I still remember them, blonde mustaches, both of them, blonde mustaches. They were being so condescending to my Aunt Gina is the sweetest thing in the world. She's always positive. She's like, you know, they're going to like, she's just, and they were like drilling her. You suck. And the Jets are a joke. So not only did I like, you know, make a decision, but my decision was based on I wanted those, like I hated those guys. I hated what they were doing to Aunt Gina. And like I came in here based on hatred. It wasn't like because I was watching the worst game ever. I didn't come in here like on an exciting, you know, like, yay, what a great. I came in here and I chose the Jets because I wanted to root against those two assholes, Miami fans. That's how I got here. No wonder I'm so like, that's what, like I started with hatred, Gunny. That's the way it started for me. You know, it's all making sense. No wonder I'm this way. What are you going to do? Holy shit. I didn't realize that. Look at all the birthday wishes. Thank you guys. You guys are the best. Happy birthday. I was 9 when I became a Jets fan back in 1999. Jesus, Christmas.
Wow.
1999. Infrared, right? I was working at AT&T back then. That's where I was working.
Oh, I was working in high tech.
Yeah?
Yeah. Traveling around the country.
Nice. Not a bad gig. Paris says the Jets would have won the Super. I know. It's a brilliant move. It's bullshit. But brilliant, because dude, our offense was like our defense, the sack exchange was sick, but our offense was like this electric scoring machine, man. You know, Wesley Walker, Freeman McNeil, all the Hector, all those guys, Schuler, we were no joke. And Schuler just said, we're going to slow them down. And it's a shame because we were built to destroy a team like the Redskins. We would have won that Super Bowl. Carney is here because of child abuse too. No, child abuse. It really kind of qualifies, doesn't it? Aunt Gina can go to jail for this. One Jets pod, 12 in 1996 when I hopped on board. Yeah, man. Your Jets are winning this weekend for GreenBean's birthday. Wouldn't that be nice, David? That's a nice thought.
Gift. Such a nice gift.
You know what? I got to start using that more. It's my birthday, Jets. I'm going to reach out to them. I'm going to say that. Who are you talking to, Jeremy?
I need a win.
Harry was 12. Now he's 68. So some 12-year-old, Harry, ruined the last 56 years of your life. Some little 12-year-old kid, little punk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. Dakota's a fan for 40 years. New York Jets fan for 40 years for Green. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, man. This is your 20th fan. Yeah, I've been a fan. This is my 41st year rooting for this shit show. Crazy. Crazy. Sluggo was 9 in 1967. Hey, look at this, Jeremy. Matt Ryder says Jeremy looks pretty good for 53.
Thanks.
What happens when you shave? You know, Jeremy, if you didn't shave, would you have gray hair?
The goat, like down on the chin, yeah, but me and both of my brothers, it's the same thing. A lot of people don't believe how old we are. A lot of it is just DNA. My grandfather was 104. When he was 80, he used to like be outside playing football with us. I mean, we just have good genes.
Yeah.
Winning.
Look at all these guys,
Man,
11
25
years old,
I just
9 years
realized
old.
how long it's been. 25 years of my life. A quarter of a century I've dedicated to this team, and they've given me back nothing but misery because of what a 13-year-old decided to make
Yeah,
a decision.
13-year-old.
13.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Disinfo.
Why you ask? Because I was at my boy's house watching the Jets versus Bills game in 1998. And they were all rooting for the Bills. They were all Bills fans, and I was like, "Man, fuck you guys." I
That's
hope the
right.
Jets win this
See?
game.
Gunny, there's something
Literally.
wrong with you.
I was like, "Oh, y'all all want to root against other. I hope the Jets win this game." And you guys were miserable. And the Jets did win. They did win that game, and it was love at first sight. And they've had a
You know,
ever since.
See, so Gunny, he's a natural like opposition guy.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's rooting for the Bills. Well, then I'm rooting for the Jets.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like we're not right. We're all here for that kind of thing. We're just a bunch of deranged, sad, damaged people. That's what we are, man. That's why we swing. Look at this. A week and change ago, we were literally talking about firing Joe Douglas and Saleh. This week, we are literally talking about the playoffs.
How we can win the AFC East.
We're fucking nuts, man. There is no helping us. And I'm going to tell you, if we win the Super Bowl, we're not going to be happy. I'm telling you, I already know. I mean, I think I will be, but I feel like we're going to be upset about something.
I mean,
You know
we'll
what I
find
mean?
something to be upset about.
Like
But I
it'll
think we'll be
be it'll be some weird thing where we win the Super Bowl, but the guy we love gets a career-ending injury or something like that, and we hold on. Like it's going to be something.
Yeah.
Or and then our coach decides to retire. You know?
Something. Like I'm going out on top. I'm out.
Like you couldn't have waited 6 months to retire, idiot. But that's the way it's going to be for us. I'm telling you. Listen, disinfo, that game, I remember exactly where I was. I was actually watching that alone because I was young, right? So, I mean, what was that, 86 maybe? I think it was. So I was 14. So I was watching it. You know, I was like allowed to stay up late, 14 years old, and it was going double. Dude, we should have we were up 10 points in the late fourth quarter. Gastineau, man, that late hit is the worst. And I love Gastineau. That late hit was so bad. It was ridiculous. And they ended up winning the game in double overtime. It's ridiculous. LTB's a lifelong Bills fan here. Hey, welcome, buddy. But the Jets fan this week. I get it, right? We get it. We understand that, right, Gunny?
Yep. Yeah. Whatever benefits my team, I will root for it.
That's it. That's it. Jason Edwards, Sunday's game is a throwback to the 80s. We have to win. I'm so ready. I made my decision at 6 years old to be a Jets fan. My cross to bear. Right. 6 is pretty early, buddy. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. So, yeah, but I'm with you, man. Like, you know, it's like, look, the last 20 years, the Pats dominated, and them the last few, it's been the Bills. And we had that period in the 90s where the Bills were dominant. Still, to me, the main rival is the Dolphins, for me, because that's the era I grew up in. It was like the Jets, Dolphins, Brian Marino, the whole thing. And it's still feels that way to me. Like, I hate the Pats. I hate the Bills, but nothing's like the Dolphins for me.
Oh, no.
To me, it's the main
Patriots.
one.
I
understand. Yeah.
Everything New England. Like, you know what's crazy? Like, I'm the person that every time I've seen somebody get hurt, Dolphins, Bill, like any team, somebody I'm like, God damn, that sucks, and that sucks. If the Patriots suffer an injury, I just sit there and I'm like, God don't like ugly.
Holy
like, I despise the freaking Patriots. That's my origins. If my origin story was to start today, it would have somehow Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in it as my enemies.
Yeah, no, and I get it, man. I hate them too.
You've got to be kidding me again.
This is slaughter.
This is ridiculous.
Are they going to score 70 points? Are they going to pull the Miami Dolphins?
They're trying to.
And it's the Raiders. You know they don't give a crap. They will.
Yeah. So Disinfo says the Mud Bowl was. It was 87. I'm looking it up now. Years, let's see. 2001 was that lock, and then 2011 was the almost lockout, right? They delayed free agency. 82 strike, 57 days. So that's 82. But the Mud Bowl was in 82. But that was the 81 season, wasn't it? I feel like it was. I could be wrong. Let me see. Following a completion of week 2 of the regular season as a result of the impasse. Let me see here. What the players strike. Final standings. The New York Jets were 6-3. Playoffs. Let's see. New York Jets. It was you're right. That's right. At Disinfo. Well done, sir. I don't remember that because again, I didn't watch that season. Like now 87 strike. I remember that. I remember that one. That's when Gastineau crossed the picket line. Look at this. So yeah, interesting. So the Jets beat Cincinnati. Then we beat the Raiders. I remember that. Actually, I watched that Raiders game because my father, who's a Giants fan, but his real team is the Raiders because they're assholes back then. So my father's drawn to that. He likes.
He was like, I could relate.
he likes like mean and nasty, So Anyway, interesting. Yeah, look at that. This info dropping the knowledge on us. Very, very well done. All right, so I think that's about the show here. We got a couple minutes. Jets beat there it is. This info. I'm looking at it too, buddy. You did well. Thank you, because I didn't have that. The Mud Bowl was played in 83. So that was I had it. See that? So it was the 82 season. Really was that? Let me see something. Yeah, it was. So January 23rd was the Mud Bowl.
That makes sense.
So that was 83. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I remember the Miami Washington Super Bowl was 83.
See, I had it as 81 season 82. So I guess it was 83. So yeah, interesting. Dude, this game is gross. 40. It's the first half. 42 point, dude.
0.
Could you imagine? Are they going to keep going?
Aiden O'Connell has 4 touchdowns in one half.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson has never had a 3-touchdown game.
He could never.
You gotta laugh at this point.
Yeah.
And this is against a Chargers team that beat us.
Oh, they shut us down. How many points did we score?
Like
6 points.
Yeah, 2 field goals. 2 field goals.
Yep. Zach Wilson mustered up 2 3-point kicks for us.
Aiden O'Connell. 4 touchdowns in the first half. But wait, there's more. Chargers freaking coach is getting fired. Staley, you're done. Your career is probably over. I don't think.
The rumor is Belichick's going to be the Chargers' next coach. What do you think of that?
That's a horrible idea. Belichick brings no value in terms of getting this offense right. I guess their defense would be better.
Well, that's the problem. Their defense was the problem. The offense could the Keenan Allen, Herbert, Eckler. Then they got some guys.
2-0 says otherwise.
Well, Herbert's out. They got some guy playing in his first game.
It can't be any worse than
the majority of the turnovers have been fumbles from running backs and tight ends. I think the quarterback has 1 turnover.
Yeah, but you can't get any worse than this coach. I think the Chargers coach is awful.
I think Staley's trash. I'm still shocked he's a head coach. I don't understand why this wasn't figured out last year, let alone going into this year. We're in week 15, and he's still the head coach. Hey, the Chargers are committed. I guess you guys say they're committed to their freaking coach. I guess you got to give them props for that because this dude is garbage, and I think we've all seen it.
I don't believe in firing guys mid-season, coaches. I mean, I don't know. You see it working out for the Raiders, but I don't know.
Raiders,
The Wedge says, "Happy birthday, GreenBean. Drink a beer, l'chaim." Well, thank you for that.
Don't worry about the beer.
GreenBean. I won't be drinking the beer.
I got you. I got you covered, brother.
You got me.
I got you covered. Easy day.
The Wedge. I haven't had a beer. Well, I had a beer. My last beer was July 9th of 2010. That was my last beer ever. But before that, I hadn't had a beer in 4.5 years either. So I've had 1 beer in the last 18 years. Isn't that fucking crazy?
That's impressive. If I'm being honest, That's fucking impressive as shit to me. Like,
Especially because Gunny, let me tell you something. I used to put down cases and like when I would drink, I would go to the bar, right? So I would literally, I'd walk, my bar knew what I wanted. So I'd walk in, the bartender, whatever bartender was there, would fill up a pint glass, couple cubes. I only liked a couple cubes, 2-3 cubes. That's all I wanted. Couple cubes of ice, fill it with Jack Daniels, and give me a splash of Coke. And I would literally walk in, I would blast that pint of Jack Daniels down, and that was my starter. And then I would drink shots and beer, but I would put down a case and like, I don't know, let's say a pint or two of Jack. I wasn't even, I mean, I would only get drunk enough to want to do cocaine. But it was like, I would very rarely get like spinny or pukey, very rarely. When I would drive, good luck. And I'm not saying it, back in the day, I would drive drunk and all the dangerous shit and scumbag shit that I used to do. But I used to have this system. Like when I would get really drunk, if I drove, and I believed this was accurate, and it worked, but it can't believe how dangerous. I think about it now and I shudder. I had this system, like when my eyes were crossing and everything, and I was driving, I would, the lines on the street would cross. So I would drive toward the point. Like when the lines would cross, I would just drive. There was like a triangle. I would just drive to the point.
Fucked up.
That's what I would do. I mean, I'm on the fucking highway, just driving to the point. Like the lines are literally crossing, and I would just go. The center of the triangle is where the center
I
is.
need to be.
I just trusted it. I mean, it's ridiculous to me now.
But in hindsight, yeah,
it's crazy.
Right.
I shudder, man, truly. But yeah, anyway, that's why I don't drink the wedge. And as soon as I do, I want cocaine and crack and shit.
You want to go back.
And then as soon as I do one hit of crack, I freak out. I think everybody's a cop. Everybody's listening to me. And then I need heroin. So it's a whole thing. And I'm fucking broke.
It just gets worse from there. We can't go down that alley. It's just going to keep getting worse.
It's best I just don't, right? No, don't we agree?
But at least you understand that, though. That's
right.
It can.
Look, I'm the triangle driver. Gunny.
Triangle driver.
Yeah. If I drink, I drive toward triangle. That's all you need to know. Like, all right, we need that guy not on the road. Whatever version of GreenBean that was, we don't need him back. And that's it. So yeah, my wife, everybody I hang out with is sober. It's like a whole thing, man. It's just
We thank you for your discipline.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for your discipline.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
World was GreenBean.
Yeah, that's why I don't do it, everybody. Look,
man,
I used to sleep in hallways in Newark. You know what I mean? Newark, New Jersey. And
Newark?
Shit.
See, you don't give a fuck about your life if you're falling asleep in hallways in Newark.
Oh, yeah. I had nowhere else to go, Gunny.
It's crazy.
Nowhere else to go. So I would panhandle in Penn Station and then fucking sleep in a hallway with everybody. But it was winter, too, so we would all huddle together, like me and these other homeless people. We would hang out in the stairwell. But every now and then they break into apartments and we can go in there and lay in there. It was like it was any better. But yeah, so it's better that I don't do that. That was rough times, man. Now I got a career and wife, kids, and the whole thing. Andrew Bocci checking in. He says, GreenBean, I still hate the Colts. Fuck the Colts. I hate them too, man. I hate him. Look at LTB. Says, oh my God, this channel is awesome. Yeah, dude, we just, we get real. It's the end of the show. We're just like, we have some fun. Yeah, Matt Ryder says, my grandfather would drink like that too. Never a headache, no stomach. I know, that's like, we're polluted. That's what it was. I mean, I was a garbage. You know what's funny? I had this girlfriend at the end for like a year, but before I had this girl for 7 years. Literally the reason that we got together was because, I shit you not, because we would go out and we'd drink and do drugs and everything. And at the end of the night, it was me and her standing. So we just said, like, she was my equal in every now and then she'd get sick and stuff, but she was my equal. There were guys sleeping all over the place in gutters, and there she was. It was like, you want to have a drink? Like fucking 3 a.m, everybody's passed out. She's like, let's drink. So I was with her for 7 years. That's right, man. I was with her for 7 years, dude. Wow, crazy. Anyway. Infrared, good shit, man. Yeah, that's what imagine. It's crazy, man. All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna wrap this up, And I'm going to say this to everybody in here. We guys still got a $173 in here. I thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight, watching this Raiders debacle over here. But I thank everybody for hanging out. But I want to say something. The Jets are making the playoffs, okay? We are going to beat the damn Dolphins. We're going to beat the Dolphins this week in their house.
Okay, GreenBean.
So I just want you guys to know it's all going to crumble around us. And we're just going to keep winning. And you see, this is a miracle, everybody. Looking right in your eyes. This is the miracle season. You hear me? This is the miracle season. Down into the dregs, back up to the top. That's what's going to happen. Get excited. Believe. GreenBean's birthday. They're going to win. They're going to win for us.
I'm buying. I'm all in. I'm buying in.
Right.
What the hell, man? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
So this weekend, just to remind you guys, Jeremy and I will be right here on this channel at about 12:30 p.m. We will be watching the game with our live reaction and watch party. We have a blast in there. It's a great time. Why watch the game alone, man? Hang out with us. That'll be happening 12:30 on Sunday afternoon, and we'll watch the entire game and have a good time. Jeremy, what do you got coming up, buddy?
You said it, but I'm every Wednesday at my channel, Jets Chaos, every single Wednesday night. And just so you know, the Brooklyn Brothers food review, I don't know if you watched it. I just put out a video that I filmed actually a few years ago of me filming my mother making her meatloaf.
I saw that.
And it's pretty, a lot of people are telling me it's pretty funny. So check that out at Brooklyn Brothers food review.
There you go. Brooklyn Brothers food review. Let's give these guys some love. Jets Chaos, Brooklyn Brothers food reviews with Jeremy and his crazy brothers. It's a good time, man. Gunny, what do you got cooking, my friend?
Honestly, you can go ahead and catch me on Mondays, with DK and Gino. We got the Flight Squad show in the afternoon for you on DK's channel. I've been chopping it up with Battered Jetsfan on Wednesday nights as well. So if you're looking to chop it up with us, we talk Jets, and then we have a Dolphins fan with us that also talks about how he's battered. And honestly enough, it's weird because this dude literally called the interception that the Jets had right before the half against the Dolphins last game. Like, texted us, boom, watch what's about to happen. I bet you he throws an interception before the half. And right after he said that, do an interception. So it's actually pretty cool to see another battered fan talking about their team in reality. So you can catch me doing that. I'm still working on getting my own live going up, but I'm not gonna lie to you, it's more fun with friends. So it's always fun to just chop it up with my peoples because there's a group of us. So it's coming when it comes, but you'll see me here next Thursday. That's for sure.
Right on, man. So look, if you haven't hit the like button, please do on your way out. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, that would be greatly appreciated. I'm going to go ahead and subscribe to One Jets Pod right now. Give that guy some love for hanging out with us all night.
Me too.
Yeah, and we'll do that. So I just did it for you, buddy. And that's how it goes. We gotta scratch each other's backs. With that all said, I want you guys to know sincerely that I hate every single team except the Jets. Hate, but I love us. That's the truth of the matter. With that all said, have a great night. We will see you next time.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, man.
I want to kiss you.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah! You want to run or you want to duck down? You want to duck, just go over and get onto the bench and stay there.
You play to win the game.
My message for the fans, we're all frustrated with where we are right now.
Jets, Jets, Jets.